This is a deck that was sent to me for evaluation, possibly a rebuild. This is a Denon DR-M44. I'm going to do a little bit of cleaning on this and check it out for this customer and see if it'll do what it needs it to do. I'm going to clean up the tape path on here. I already started doing this before I turned the camera on or even thought about making a video about it. So I've already got it partially clean. Before I put any of my tapes into it, I want to make sure that they won't get ruined, of course. I don't know the history of it. I don't know anything about it. It arrived today and I'm having a look. It's fairly easy to get into. I can hold the pinch rollers and clean them. It wasn't too bad. It's dusty. It hasn't been used in a long time. That's very obvious. But the tape path was not horrible. Now I'll do this. I'll get the capstans as much as I can, and then when I turn it on, they'll start to spin and I can get back in there and finish them up. Right now I just want to get a little bit of alcohol on them. Can't really turn those by hand. I'll just wait till I turn it on. So I believe the M44 is just basically the same model as the M44HX without the HX Pro. I think that's the only difference. This has auto calibration. It may be lacking fine-tuned bias trim. That might be another difference. This gentleman primarily is interested in playback here. And so those aren't necessarily features he would need. So there's a lot of discussion about degaussing heads and tape paths. I do it. I've always done it. One of the big reasons on something like this is I know nothing about this deck. I know nothing about its history. And I don't want to put one of my test tapes in here or any other tape, you know, not knowing what somebody else has done or hasn't done. You can do this improperly and actually magnetize the tape path instead of demagnetizing it. So just to be on the safe side. I can also check these. And I think I will. Meter here that needs a couple of batteries. Don't keep batteries in it because all the batteries leak now and ruin things. showing how it reads pretty well on the magnetized screwdrivers I use. There's a little teeny one. It's not too easy to get in here. Some of them I can get in pretty well. This one's kind of hard. Try one more time. Okay, that's pretty safe. Here's the ancient one that I use. I have a couple of these. They're also very handy and very sensitive, extremely sensitive. The actual test point on this is down towards my thumb, but you can see even just not even getting close to it, it's still picking up. Now if I get it close to the test point, yeah, it deflects fully. And that's got no magnetism in there that it can read. So I think we're good. This has got a lot of dust in it. I won't blow it out in the shop. I'll take it outside and fully clean it. I'll test this for, just get a feel for the wow and flutter. See how it does in that department. There we go. We can just finish those off. I'm also kind of feeling for any residue buildup while I'm doing that. I won't use my best tape on this. I'll use a homemade tape. And initially, that's very good. I have no problem with that. Speed's a little bit slow. I'm not concerned about that right now. I'd have to get my head in there on the left side to correct that. It's not a problem because this will get fully disassembled anyway. Okay, those are good numbers. I'm happy with that. Especially for something that probably has been sitting for years. What I'd like to do now, I think I'll do just do a playback test and see, maybe use some of my standard tapes that I use for evaluating things. See what it sounds like. Now the rewind is not, can't really see it, but it's not working. It's very slowly grinding away, and then after about a minute, it picks up speed. So that's also not a concern to me. That'll be taken care of. But it is going quite slow. I'll have to turn the volume down. I didn't realize that it could be heard right through the headphones, that the camera microphone would pick that up, but it sure is. What I've got here is I've got a dead channel. Left channel is got nothing on the left channel. So first thing I'll do is check my RCAs in the back, and they're tight, but wiggling it brings that channel back to intermittent. So I know that's a simple fix. I just want to try to get it positioned where I can hear both channels. Yeah, it's just, the one side is, there it comes. Okay, all right, there it is. Okay. That's an easy fix, whatever it is. That's not a problem. Plug in my inputs here. The sound is quite good. I think the sound is very nice. I do this, I like to write down my findings in the beginning, things that impress me or don't impress me. I don't know exactly when I'll get back to this deck. It might be a month, it might be, you know, a few weeks, but it's nice to have a reference of what I did in the beginning, and then that helps me know in the end how to judge it. What I'm doing, this is a kind of a high quality and nearly new factory tape, demo tape, and it's got Dolby B. It's recorded with Dolby B, and so I'm using this to evaluate the Dolby on this deck. This is something he'll be using, and so I just want to see how it's reacting. Sometimes they're very aggressive, and they, you know, you can hear them pumping, and you can hear the artifacts. So I'm just evaluating it here and then making a note of my impressions of it in the beginning, and then after I set the levels and so forth, rebuild it. It's not terrible. It's a little off. It's not tracking 100%, but it's not bad. Again, I had to turn the volume, or had to edit the volume out. Okay, so that's tolerable. Do a little recording test next. very scratchy input pot. That will either get cleaned, or if it doesn't clean up, it'll get replaced. Looks like I've also got a very scratchy mode switch. Yeah, that's a problem. Let's just set it on 0 here and see what we get. There's a little bit of wear on the record head on this deck. The playback head looks fine. There's a visible wear on it, but it's not bad. I'll be getting that under the microscope and have a closer look at it. The good part is it does record, but I'm not getting, I'm not satisfied with it. It needs some help. We get some high frequency fall off as well. But that's just something to look at. Again, it's not primarily the concern of this gentleman, so we'll do what we can with it. Heads are not available from the factory. It would be a search for new old stock, and that could take some time. And it might be impossible. And of course, these frequencies won't be audible on the YouTube compression. Okay, well, overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I think he picked out a nice one. I think it's very usable, very rebuildable, nothing outstanding. So when we get started on this one, we'll make a few videos, and maybe you can follow along. Thanks for watching.